Welcome to Accelerate with Adams. I'm Jason. Today I want to talk to you about generosity. Just living a lifestyle of generosity, just being a generous person. Generous with your words, generous with your finances, generous with your acts of service, generous with physical touch. Just be a generous person. My favorite book says give, and it will be given back to you, pressed down, shaken together, running over. Now think about that. Think about if you're in the kitchen, you're getting ready to bake a pie or something, you got to get the flour out, you measure a cup out of the flour, and then what do? You pack it down to make sure that your cup is in there real tight, and then you dump that cup out. It's not like flour anymore. It's a block, like it's a brick of flour. My favorite book says, which by the way, this is a time-tested success principle. It's been around for generations upon generations. It says, if you'll give, it'll be given back to you so much so packed, so tightly packed, and it's running over. It'll be given back to you in abundance. It also says in my favorite book, it talks about the tithe, and it says, bring the tithe into the storehouse. Now the storehouse is the house that feeds you, right? It's like going to the grocery store, you get your bread, you get your Coke, you get your groceries, your food, because that's what feeds your body. Well, God says, bring the tithe, which is the 10%, that's what tithe means, and he says, bring the first tithe, put God first, bring the tithe into the storehouse. So this is the house that feeds your spirit, right? Now, maybe it's your church, maybe it's the personal growth program that you're involved with. But give to the storehouse that feeds your spirit. And God says, test me in this, says the Lord Almighty. Very interesting there, because it's the only time in the entire Bible, very big collection of books, a lot of pages, only time in there God says to test him. And he says, you test me in this and see if I don't throw open the floodgates of heaven and pour out so much blessing, there's not room enough to store it. Wow. Think about that. Think about that just for a moment. Don't you want the blessing in all areas of your life? I know I sure do, and the people I hang around with do. I'm confident. I'm sure you do too. You want that blessing? Live a lifestyle of generosity. Just give freely. Be a generous giver. Thanks for being with me today. I'll see you in the next video.